Hello, friends. Welcome to Surviving Tomorrow, a podcast, newsletter, and publication that helps you navigate life in an age of democratic destruction, ecological collapse, and economic irrelevance. Available for free on Substack, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Facebook, YouTube, and did I say Facebook? I'm Jared A. Brock. They call it the Amazonian Chernobyl. In 1964, the multinational corporation Texaco, which is one of the planet-destroying giants spawned from John D. Rockefeller's colossal illegal monopoly, began drilling in Ecuador. For nearly 30 years, Texaco turned tens of billions in profits while illegally dumping billions of gallons of toxic waste, which destroyed habitats, livelihoods, and lives, all to save roughly $3 per barrel in proper waste treatment costs. When Chevron was eventually busted by the Ecuadorians, the company spent a microscopic $40 million in quote-unquote cleaning the area and negotiated an agreement with corrupt officials saying the cleanup was complete, even though a domestic science team deemed the areas wildly unsafe. In 2003, American attorney Stephen Donziger visited the South American nation and described it as an apocalyptic disaster. Children walked barefoot along oil-covered roads. Jungle lakes were covered in oil. Local tribes suffered from stomach cancer, respiratory illnesses, miscarriages, and birth defects. Donziger helped 30,000 indigenous Ecuadorians file a $28 billion lawsuit for making them sick and poisoning the Amazon with 18 billion gallons of toxic water. After an 8-year court battle, the locals won a groundbreaking $9.5 billion to help offset some of their losses, roughly 3 weeks of Chevron's revenue. It was the first time in history that an indigenous group had successfully beaten a multinational corporation. Chevron refused to pay the fine. Instead, they decided to destroy Stephen Donziger's life. There is no depth to which some people will go to make money, especially multinational corporations. After all, they're anti-human alien fictions that live forever, have more rights than humans, and legally exist for the sole purpose of extracting wealth from the commons to deliver to elite shareholders. According to a leaked internal Chevron memo, quote, "Our long-term strategy is to demonize Donziger." So far, with a legal team of hundreds, Chevron has sued him for $60 billion, which is the most of any individual in American legal history, got him disbarred as a lawyer, frozen his bank accounts, crushed him with fines, with millions in fines, not allowed him a jury, got a court to force him to wear a 24-hour ankle monitor for the past 2 years, imposed a lien on his home, destroyed his ability to earn a living, and placed him under house arrest for the last 800 days. Not only has the United Nations High Commissioner on Human Rights ruled it illegal, and 29 Nobel laureates have called it judicial harassment, but it's 4 times longer than the maximum sentence allowed for this charge. And as of last week, Stephen Donziger is now in prison. I hope you're furious, raging, shaking, weeping. You should be. This is the first time a multinational corporation has prosecuted an individual, a good man. This is what happens when corporations take control of your Congress. This is what happens when nations allow the unlimited accumulation of wealth and power, when your inequality is worse than the Roman Empire. I encourage you to stuff your fury into the fire of action. Watch Stephen's goodbye message just hours before going to prison. Follow Stephen on Twitter and Instagram and share his story on social media, making sure to tag the President and the Justice Department. Watch the documentary Crude on YouTube. Sign the petition demanding the President and Attorney General release Donziger immediately. Read up on intimidation lawsuits. If you or someone you know works at Chevron, whistleblow. And ask the New York Times why they won't cover this story. Otherwise, this will continue to happen until we fix this forever. First, here's how not to fix this absurd injustice. Don't bother calling your corporate-sponsored congressman. Don't bother getting pepper sprayed by corporate-directed cops at a rally. Don't bother hacking or stalking the board of directors and end up in a cell beside Stephen. There's only one weapon that can bring monster corporations to heel: money. We need folks like Wall Street Bets and meme stonkers and activist shareholders especially to buy enough stock to seize control of companies like this, like what's currently happening over at Exxon. Run an internal investigation to oust every single person involved in persecuting Donziger, make restitution to this good man, and then publish the internal documents and press for the imprisonment of the cruel and inhumane individuals who continue to put profit before people. Clearly, Chevron has ruined Donziger's life to make a statement that if you mess with our ability to make profits, human lives be damned, we will ruin you. It's time we put multinational corporations on notice. This earth belongs to we the people. Legal fictions live and die by our will. And while we wait for the courts to send all these criminals to jail, let's all stop buying Chevron products. Spread the word. Thanks for listening to Surviving Tomorrow. Please give us a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and share this episode by email and on social media so we can reach more people, tell others about Donziger's story, and grow our community of resistors. We are listener supported and we need your help. Please visit jaredbrock.com to see all the ways you can get involved. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.